order the Barrio.
Sorry.
Calling to, oh, that's okay. Calling to order the Barrio Historico Historic Zone Advisory Board for Wednesday, September 12th at 4 p.m. Let's do a roll call. So Paolo, I'm here. Mary Lou.
I'm here.
Paul Horvat.
I'm here.
And Grace.
Here.
Here. So we're missing Philip for right now. Agenda item number 2, approval of the last minutes of August 24th, 2022. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Great. All in favor? Aye.
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 So the minutes from August 24th, 2022 were approved. Call to the audience. Jody, do we have anything?
We do not.
Okay. So before moving on to agenda item number 4, do we want to discuss the letter that's going to go out? You know, I saw Philip's draft a couple weeks ago. I haven't looked at it since. I have not worked on my portion. Has anybody worked on theirs? That must be a no. So Jody, what should we be discussing with this right now, since we really don't have anything?
Well, I mean, I'll leave it on the agenda for you guys to do next time. But I mean, we haven't gotten a date from mayor and council to do their study session yet. But it's probably going to be like October. So you definitely do want to, if you guys are going to send a letter, want to get on it.
Have any of you guys read the bullet points that Philip sent out?
Nope, haven't seen anything.
Oh.
I haven't
Jody,
seen
are
it
we
either.
allowed to share this?
Do you want to share it on the screen now? Do you have it? You can share the screen and show it if you want to.
Yeah, this is going to be a challenge. Let me see. All right, I got some.
Do you want to send it to me and I can share it?
Yeah, can I send this to you?
Yeah.
It's going to be coming at you. He CC'd you on it too, but.
I don't think I got that.
Oh, well, it says AICP Jody Brown, Michael Taku,
Really? Because I don't
Yeah.
recall that.
August 24th. I just forwarded it to you.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me share this. Here's my, sorry, user difficulties. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Now I can, yes. Oh, I must have just seen the, unfortunately, I won't likely be able to join today's meeting and went, oh, okay.
So you guys want to just take the time to read that through quickly, and then we can maybe talk about it.
Whoops, I just lost it.
Sorry. I was gonna call that dude, so I was gonna look his stuff up. Sorry. Stuff keeps popping up on that screen.
Hey, come on.
Guys, I have somebody at my door. I'll be back in about a minute.
I think this is a good outline. We just sort of need to, well,
You need
I don't know, maybe we
yeah,
can
it is.
leave
It's a
it
good
in this
outline. It's
format.
got great bullet points.
Mhm.
It needs to be filled out some more.
Well, how about forwarding that,
Forwarding it to everybody? I can do
yeah,
that.
so,
Yeah,
Yeah,
would,
so-
would you please do that?
Sure.
yeah, because I looked back to August 24th and there wasn't anything.
No, I think Philip sent it to me and Jody only.
Okay, I just forwarded it to y'all.
Thank you.
Surprisingly, I have two Mary Lou's. You and another one on Fort Lowell. So when I type
Oh.
Mary Lou, I always have to make sure I pick the right one.
Thank you.
I think the point, sort of the first bullet under point number 2 about stewardship, and then also the process improvement ones, are great. Specifically, I think it's all good, but those are the ones that I thought were really singing. So
Jody,
Jody,
is-
as we, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
Bob.
go ahead, Grace. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, as we, sort of give input on this, the best thing would be to send it just to Philip, or how do we make sure we're not, violating that open meeting law?
So I would not send it to a quorum of people for sure. You just want to send it to, you can send it to the chairs. You could basically, even though that's kind of a quorum, you can send your comments to Philip or Paolo because they're the co-chairs. I mean,
Jointly?
yeah,
Okay.
even though that's a little, but I wouldn't have further discussion on that. I would just kind of keep it at that if you're sending something. Not that I'm should be commenting on this, but I mean, I think really you have everything there. You're saying all the finer points that everybody else has said and saying them quite well. You probably just want to format it into a letter. Really.
Okay, I've got a question. What's COT?
City of Tucson.
It's,
Oh, thank you.
And M&C is mayor and council, just so you know. I know, it's stressful.
So should we just go with Philip's points and we can elaborate on them, and then everybody can send out comments if they have some
Sure.
to Philip and I, and then Jody, do we need to forward these comments to you, or are you supposed to stay out of this process?
It's kind of hard for me to stay out of the process.
Since they keep sticking us with the open meeting law.
But you don't have to, hey, it is what it is. You can just do your letter. If you don't, ideally when your letter's done, you copy me on it just so I have it for my records, but I would just be careful of like copying everybody when you send comments around.
Right. So maybe if they have comments, if you could send them to Philip and me in the next, I don't know, week or so, then maybe I can format this into a letter, send it back out as a draft for everyone to check, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
And we also later on can schedule another meeting to go over the design guidelines. And I can put this on the agenda for then too. So if you want to do the letter and discuss it then to make sure everybody's good with it.
When did you say it needs to be in by October?
We haven't set a
Sure.
date yet. We haven't set a date for the study session, but we're looking at October-ish. So, that's kind of what you want to shoot for.
So that
Just
means
so
we
you're
need to
not
have another meeting
procrastinating.
this month.
Your October meeting is the 10th, October 10th.
Yeah. And if it's packed, if the agenda's packed, it might limit us with our time on. So we probably need to set another meeting for this month to work on design guidelines and this letter.
It's your prerogative.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Probably a good idea.
Paul, Grace?
Yeah, I think let's do it.
Yeah. Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to be away for the last part of September, but
What dates is that?
the 19th till the end of September.
Oh, so that's next Monday. Are you gonna have internet access while you're away or no?
I will
you
have
might not even
access.
want it.
I will have access to it, but I'm going to be nine hours away in time
Okay.
zone. So I'm not sure how practical it would be for me.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to have another meeting this month, but I don't think we have any option. Let me see. What about Wednesday, the 28th,
You also have the 3rd of October.
the 3rd?
Of October. It's a Monday. I mean, if you want to
Monday.
keep with the Monday. But then you would follow up with the following Monday on the 10th if you actually had items. I don't know yet if you have items.
I'm okay with doing it on the 3rd if everybody else is.
Sure.
Okay,
Grace
Yes.
and
Good
Paul.
with me.
yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. I'll send out a meeting invite for October that you want to do the same time, 4 to 6, yeah.
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 Hey, Jody, David here. I don't know if everybody can hear me or
We can hear you.
not.
We
Okay.
are doing different items in a different order since you weren't here yet.
Okay, I figured. I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay. So I'll schedule you and get that agenda out for October 3rd, a week prior. And I'll include both the design guidelines and this letter on the agenda.
Okay. And if you guys set a meeting date that's before the 3rd, which probably it will not, will you let us know?
Yeah. It's not going that quick, but
I know, but you never know.
I will. For sure, let you know.
It'd be pretty embarrassing if we were the only board that didn't submit a letter.
I don't even think they look at that, but okay.
Oh.
And our,
The mayor and council is not even going to look at the letter?
yeah, you send it to the mayor and council. Everybody else send it to, you will send it out to the mayor and each of the council districts. That's what everybody else did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they will look at it, hopefully.
I assume they look at it.
Yeah, okay. All right, cool. So we can move on to the review for today, which is a courtesy review. 507 South Meyer Avenue, the construction of 5 residential buildings. It's a courtesy review and we've got 45 minutes allotted. And what was your name, David?
My name's David.
David. All right, David, floor is yours.
Okay, hey, everybody. Sorry I was late. I had some trouble there.
David,
I
can
have
you
one
share
person.
your screen or do you want me to share my screen?
Will you share your screen? I'm doing it remote.
Okay.
So I have my tablet here and I just have the phone doing the call, so I can't really share my screen.
Okay. Can you all see that?
Yes.
So the plan here is these 2 parcels. Just to remind anybody that doesn't remember, I'm sure you guys do a lot of them. So it's 2 parcels, one large one, one very small one. We're just combining and splitting into 5, and then we've got these 5 buildings that we're doing here. Lot B shows just a single residence, but it'll be a guest house, just a smaller guest house on that one. We haven't completely finished the design on that one, but it'll follow the same structure as the rest. So 4 house and guest house and 1 house, all just respecting the zoning setbacks that we talked about last time, and all having their own street frontage, 15 feet or more. And then as far as the main thing I think you guys are concerned with, the finishes, we're gonna do metal roofs, stucco exterior, wood, windows and doors, and landscaping would be basically just gravel and mesquite and oleanders. And then as far as the actual construction materials of the building goes, I am hoping to do wood frame and depress the exterior doors and windows so that it looks the same as the thicker walled CMU or Rastra type building. we have gone out and measured the even roof heights against a few of the adjacent properties there. Specifically the one at the corner of Kennedy and Convent, and the one at the corner of Kennedy and Meyer, and then the one just south of the one at the corner of Kennedy and Convent. So those are like half of the adjacent properties there, and we're pretty similar in height and dormer height and roof pitch, eave height, peak height, all those things. But it is a 2-story. It's just designed to kind of look more like a 1-story with clerestory windows, so that it's, really just looks like the others that I believe are only 1-story, because they don't really have real windows. They just kind of have fake windows or vents.
What is that hatch line, that horizontal hatch line? I'm having a hard time reading what the notes are on the side of what we're looking at right now. Midpoint of roof. So, David, what are the heights of those other roofs?
I don't remember offhand the height of the roof. We measured them, and then we kind of set our design standard, and it's been quite a while since I looked at the elevation of that, but I believe it's somewhere around 24 feet, 26 feet, and that these are somewhere around 26 feet.
Okay, so that the peak of that roof is around 26.
I believe so, but we have another elevation there that shows the peak height. I think in that included drawing.
Yeah, if you can go to
Don't be
page
Jody.
3, Jody.
Yeah, 26 feet 4 inches on.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're showing really thick walls there. So what's your intent? You're going to try and frame them that thick, or would?
Yeah, we're just going to frame them that thick, or at least frame where the doors and windows are would pop in toward the interior. One of the two, either the entire exterior wall would just get framed, like double 2x4 walls, so that, and then we would spray foam in there to make that one solid, well insulated gap. Or else we'll just do 2x6 walls on the exterior, and then we'll frame 2x4 interior of just where the exterior doors and windows are. But either way, it would look the same on the outside.
Is there any particular reason why you're not considering masonry walls?
Mostly just cost and availability of masons. I have a couple masons, but they're just, the scale of what we need to do here is just going to be extremely difficult to get masonry done in comparison to wood. I have an in-house framing crew. I can frame it all out in much less cost and much less time. So that's the main reason, just trying to make the whole project more doable. Yeah, my masons are just, they can do some stuff, but it's kind of got to be small stuff. And I've just, over the last several years, I've just had a really hard time getting any significant amount of masonry work done. So that's the main reason.
Yeah, well, I think our concern is not the cost, but basically having something that is comparable to the existing buildings. Generally, we've been against wood frame construction, except for cases.
Additions.
Wood frames for additions on the back of buildings, but not the major buildings.
So would the rules of Barrio Historico exclude stick frame, or is it just whatever ends up, is it just whatever it ends up making it look like the rest of the buildings?
No, it's not what it looks like. It's basically whoever's come before the board, they know that it's masonry, it's not stucco and frame.
That has to be in writing somewhere though, right?
It's in our guidelines.
It's in the
that hard line.
guidelines. It's in the guidelines.
Okay. So my alternative to that also before CMU, it would be EF block or Rastra, if you guys know what that is, the foam blocks
Yeah.
that you fill the cells with concrete.
We're good with that.
No problem whatsoever with that.
Yeah, which is the EF block? What's the
If you know what Rastra is, basically the
Yeah.
exact same thing.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
20 different, acronyms for different blocks that different manufacturers make, but it all boils down to pretty much the same thing. They all get filled with concrete for their structural, and then the only main difference is, ease to work with and R value. So the EF blocks are just kind of any other average, that type of, stands for environmental friendly, actually,
Right.
on the EF stuff. They're a local company, basically local out of Phoenix. So, that's why I'm kind of steering toward them. Their prices are, basically compared to everything else, whatever. It's, seems like pretty good stuff though. We pretty much try to stick to stick frame, like I said, but we can just do, the EF blocks would be great. And I think that'll accomplish what you guys want to see. So before we move forward, that's why I wanted to have this meeting mostly to clarify that, just to see if there was something we could do with stick framing that would allow us to be conforming. So with that as a hard no, we would just go EF block.
Well, we would be okay with that. We just
Okay.
have not, it's in the guidelines too, but building out of stick and stucco, it's just not a historically appropriate material over there.
Gotcha.
So David, do you mind explaining, I'm assuming, are you splitting this into 5 lots? How is that working?
Each building will be on its own lot, and yes, there'll be 5.
Okay. And then you're going to maintain the lot coverage of 75% or less?
Yeah, we won't get close to it on any of them.
Okay.
As far as planning and zoning rules go, we're pretty much, I've had several meetings with them. And everything we're doing, we're just trying to conform to, we're not trying to ask for any, alternate, anything, change of zoning, closer setbacks, lot coverage. We're just follow what's there. Basically, that's all we're trying to do.
Yeah. So really quick, I think it's lot number B, the little house that's there. It looks like it goes over the property line. Is that a misprint or what's going on there?
No, that's what I was talking about in the beginning, where it's two lots. That little lot the cursor is on, that's a tiny lot that I own. And
Okay, so that's going to be part of lot B.
It's part of lot B. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And can you just explain to us your reasoning for going for pitch roof here instead of a parapet? Oh, because you're trying to have a 2-story. That explains it right there.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we will also the parapets. I like that style as well, but almost all of our comparables here are pitched roof.
Pitched roof.
yeah, in this particular area, I mean, it's like basically all pitched roofs.
Yeah, both Meyer and Convent.
Meyer, Convent, and Kennedy. It's almost all, well, maybe on the other side of Kennedy, there's a couple parapet, but it's definitely, you know, dominant on the pitched roof style.
Where is the vehicular access going to be to this section?
To lot B.
To any of them?
Do any of it.
Okay, so lot B has 17 feet of street frontage to Convent, and that's its access. Lots A and F both abut Kennedy, and they each have their own separate. So you're not quite seeing the lot line there, but it goes right down the middle of
Yeah,
that area,
yeah.
right where the cursor's going up and down. And that
Okay.
divides those two lots, and they each have their own frontage to Kennedy. And then the last two lots on the west, they both are Meyer. So we'll retain that 507 South Meyer, and we'll have one other address there.
And David, what do you plan on doing for like, I mean, you're gonna have asphalt driveways going in there, and is there like a communal parking lot and then you walk to the houses?
No,
They
they
all have a
all
garage?
will have, yeah, they'll all have a garage and each have their own access back into there. There's a couple easements just for like ease of backing in and out or whatever that I'm going to grant from one lot to the other. But like for instance, lot A is going to grant a little bit of an easement to lot F just for backing in and out of the garage. And then lot E grants a little 20-foot where that private access easement is labeled there. That same easement is going to be granted to lot D for lot D. But other than that, yeah, there's no community parking. I mean, fencing could be dropped right on all the lot lines and everybody would still have access in and out of there pretty good, at least 15 feet. I believe actually our smallest access will be over there on I guess the 17-footer on Convent will probably be the smallest, but they'll all have plenty of space to drive in and out. So it was tight, but it's working out like where it really makes sense. Like people are going to be able to just pull into their garage, pull up beside their house, park in their driveway too if they want. With the exception of lot E, they won't be able to use their own driveway for parking because that one driveway will also be an easement, but they will have space. The lot line where it's showing right below lot E, there's actually just a little bit more space than it's showing there when we finalize here, so that you actually will be able to park 2 cars just to the south of the house on lot E. And then also another one in the garage.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking at that lot E and, you know, being out on Meyer and looking, and I think your concept is pretty interesting, but being out on Meyer and looking through there, you know, the first thing that you're going to see is a garage door from that house right there. So I'm
Exactly.
wondering, you know, you've got a lot of space there. Is it possible to not rotate the house so you don't look directly at a garage door?
Not really. Not in that case.
Why is that? I mean, you've got such a
Garage.
big difference between, or a big space between lot D house and the lot E.
Well, the thing is I could move the lot line, but you just won't actually have good space to pull into there and out. It won't work out as good. You know, having walked the lot and laid everything out and driven in and out of there, I just, you know, it's a little bit harder to visualize just looking at it there, but it just doesn't quite work out good like that. There's just not quite enough space to like back in and out. Not like being
But
able
it seems to
just
be working for the lot D house. I mean, you have the orientation of the garage going north-south, so there's obviously room for them to pull in and out. I don't see why that lot E wouldn't have the same condition.
Well, I would have It would be possible, but so if I could draw on there, it would be able to be made a little more clear. But see how that see where it says 5 foot right there, right above lot D, right above the house at the upper left corner of the house at lot D.
Does that say 5 foot or 3 foot?
Whatever, I think it says
5.
5, but so having that space, it's not that 5 foot space, but the other space between the front of the house and where that turn is made allows me to be able to cut in and out of there without granting any easement at all. If I want to be able to cut in and out into that other house, you have to be able to use up that entire space that's basically could be made into a front yard or something nice. All that has to be used completely up as an easement to the other property so that that person could never do anything with that lot D front yard at all, because the whole thing would just have to be an easement for lot E if we rotate the garage so that the garage faces south on lot E. So I'm trying not to make it so that everything in between all the houses is just easements.
Right. What is that
Because-
20-foot dimension on lot E? That, I mean, I can't put right there.
That is an easement granted to the property directly to the north of that,
Oh, so
like
you
a
can't-
driveway easement. So I can't build into there or anything.
Right.
Otherwise, there could be a little bit of other options too, but no, I definitely dabbled with what you're talking about, and I just couldn't quite get it to work without, the negatives kind of outweighing the positives there.
Have you tried mirroring it? So then the garage is hidden behind that existing house to the north.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there. That doesn't leave enough space to pull in and out though. 20 feet isn't quite enough.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like for a Honda Civic, it is, but for a Tahoe or a F-150, you definitely could not make the turn.
I mean, can you even get an F-150 in that garage? How deep is that?
It's just enough space. 22 feet
It's 22.
should be. Should be 7 foot tall opening, 22 feet deep.
So you have some floor plans that do not have a garage, correct?
No, they all have garages. They all have a 1-car garage.
Main level floor plan on this one. On sheet A4. Okay. So the one on the left, where's the garage there?
That's the upstairs.
Oh, so your main floor level is upstairs?
I think the labels
No.
are just backwards.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he must have just swapped.
Oh yeah, because
grabbed
the other
some
one
and
says
messed up the
loft.
labels. Yeah, he just messed up the labels.
Yeah, so it looks like you got 20 feet interior dimensions on that one for the garage. I don't know. I mean, I would just like to be able to have somebody study that a little bit more to try and not have the garage is the first thing you see. I mean, I think you'd want that too, in terms of having a better project for yourself there. I mean,
Well, one thing I could do if it would make a difference, I could just eliminate the garage and just have parking just along the south of the house there. But then I would end up needing for 2 spaces. I guess I probably would be able to squeeze two spaces into there. There would be a chance I would need some kind of variance on the number of garage spaces though, to make it 1 instead of 2. That would be the only issue.
are you doing an FLD on this? Is that
No, we're not.
what are you doing, like a minor subdivision?
Yeah, minor
You are.
subdivision. Mhm.
Just a quick note on the garage. I think that's the same case looking south from Kennedy.
That's lot A. Oh, yeah, you can see it. I mean, were you planning on having gates out at Kennedy and Meyer or no?
We're gonna have gates on all 3 entrances, all 5 entrances. And we could do like a privacy type gate. I'm not sure exactly what would be approved. It's just whatever works, but something that's visually, a visual barrier type gate.
Mary Lou, Paul, you guys reviewed the Miramonte project.
Yeah.
And I know gates were brought up with that. What was the final decision with the gates? I don't think
You
they
know,
got
I'd have to go
approved,
back,
did they?
I'd have to go back and look at the plans, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the mayor
Oh.
and council on that, and I don't think that they allowed the gates because they did not want to have like a private community feel inside of a historic neighborhood like that.
Well, these ones won't be a community. Because they're not condos, and they'll each have their own private yards and everything.
Right,
So
I think it's
they
just
won't
the
really be a
exclusivity of
community.
having to drive through like a mechanized gate to get to your house in that neighborhood it's something that I don't think exists anywhere over there.
No, it doesn't. Well, there is a subdivision off of 17th, and there is a set of gates there, but they're not they're never closed. And it was really left over from the construction, and they were never taken down.
And that project that was approved I mean, is that in the barrio or is that outside?
It is physically in the barrio, but it is outside the historic district.
Okay, so it never got reviewed, so that's not
No, unfortunately.
right. That's pretty grim over there.
Yeah, it is.
All right, does anybody else have any other comments on this? I mean, I'm sure that we could go on for quite a while here.
Okay, just so I know where the location is, this is the batch of interior lots that Rawlings cobbled together from everybody's backyard on Meyer, Kennedy, Convent.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay, now I got it.
David, really quick for lot B, how do you access that garage? Does that get accessed off of Convent or does that off of Kennedy and you drive down?
Lot B, yeah, that's off a Convent. So you have like a little turnaround right there in that small lot that I own directly to the south. So you can pull into there and then back into the garage and pull out into that little turnaround again and pull out of the lot again. So there'll be like 20 feet right there, but then you have that extra space below it to maneuver.
I've got a question. Is lots 6 and 7 that's there on Convent, is that the large brick? That's
Yeah,
got
lot
like
6 is that.
I think so. Yeah, the 6 and 7. Yeah, it's that red
Yeah.
roof, that really long.
That's the red
right
roof.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your access is between the red roofed building and
The white
Okay.
one.
Yep,
and what
right
used to
there.
be what used to be the blue adobe, now white.
Right.
Okay,
Yep,
it's
there
where
it is.
it's where the gate is, right?
Jody's showing us right now what
Okay,
you're
yeah, right there.
talking about. Yep.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yep, that's the one. And then see that one at the corner there that she just passed by as
Yeah, that's the backside of the store. What used to be a
and then
store.
that, yeah, that's the other access there. That whole red wall, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's like 38 feet. So it's probably, I think it's like almost that whole red wall there on the other side of the telephone pole.
That you're taking down?
We'll eventually take it down. Yeah, once we get the buildings.
Do you have to
built.
move that telephone pole?
No, it's not. It's, I don't know. It's not in the way. I don't remember exactly which side that's on though from that view. I'm almost positive that it's not right there. Maybe like between the telephone pole and the tree or something. Either way, we'll have to be dropping a couple poles or going underground or doing a significant amount of work with DEP. So if we do have to move it, we'll just move it.
So all your utilities will be underground, right?
Looks like they're going overhead with most stuff, so we might just go overhead. I'm not 100% sure. It'll depend on what's available with TEP. They pretty much end up ultimately determining which way I get to go.
Yeah.
On all my projects. Underground is nice. I always prefer it, and we have all our own equipment to dig and everything, but they just they have their own whole thing you got to go through.
So what's your timeline on this, David?
Like a year ago, I would say be under construction like 6 to 8 months after a year ago. But now I just, as soon as I can get going, or we're just trying to get through the process. My draftsman took a couple months without doing anything, so that slowed me way down. And then I've had multiple reviews with the city, and then going through everything with you guys, just trying to make sure that what we have is not something we're gonna end up having to redo anything on, has taken more time than I expected. But my timeline right now that I'm hoping for would be something fully approved in like 3 months and breaking ground like a month after that.
Do we want to run through the elevations really quick? Unless anybody has questions on the site plan.
Okay, we're still doing a courtesy review, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to go into a full. All right.
Some of the main things that you wanted to see in a full, just in case I don't already have it in mind. What would they be?
Can you repeat that? What?
You were concerned about a lot of the things that are missing. I know it's just a courtesy review with pretty rough, but are there any big things that you would be concerned we might not think of, or they get missed a lot?
Well, when you go to the formal review, I think you should have a material list of what you're going to be using for the roofing and
Windows,
windows.
doors.
That, the door we're looking at right now is kind of an unusual door for the neighborhood over there with those two side lights.
Yeah, I don't know why my draftsman put that there. Sometimes he just throws stuff in randomly. That wasn't even under my instruction. It's just going to be a 3-foot wide door. I don't know why that's there. I have
David,
no idea why you put that there. Just some random thing. Yeah, go ahead.
when you submit the historic application for the formal review, which I had sent to you previously. You'll recall there's a list of items that you have to have. That's also what they're referencing.
Okay. I know you have mentioned that, but would you be able to send me that list?
I can send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send you the application again and you can see the list.
Yeah, and David, when you,
Okay,
when
cool.
you do that formal, if you could have like the development zone outlined and the houses that you're using to have your architecture based off of with building heights, you know, top of roof, bottom of eaves, things like that, it'll make it easier for us to.
Yeah. That I was planning on having.
So I guess in this case, the development zone would include Myers Street, Convent, and
Kennedy.
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 It's a fairly big development zone because he fronts onto all those streets.
Yep.
Jody, can you move on to a couple other elevations?
Tell me when you want me to forward and I'm happy to do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know,
the
those three
windows, that-
windows like back to back like that. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what the intent is, David. Which,
You know, that the window location and spacing, that looks a little weird to me too. I don't know if that's something that's in the development zone. If it's not, I mean, it doesn't really need to be there. We'll definitely review that.
yeah,
Either
Okay.
way.
Can you label north elevation, south elevation, east elevation, etc.? That helps too.
Yeah.
Side elevation doesn't tell me which side, north, south,
It's
east, west.
just because these are general and we have them rotated on each lot, so we will though on the final for sure.
Okay.
so how many model plans do you have here? An A and a B, is that? Or are there more?
Yeah, there's basically
a
just
few.
two. So there's really just two. There's one that is the house and guest house model, and there's one that's just the house model. And then there will be a third model, which will be a house with a smaller guest house than the one that's on the rest of these, just because of the lack of space there on that lot that abuts Convent. There's enough room for a guest house, just not quite as big as the guest houses on the other lots. So
Yeah,
it'll
like
just
the-
look exactly the same, but just a hair shorter, like a few feet shorter or whatever.
Are these detached? They're not detached guest houses, right?
No, they're not.
They're so it's inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll just be, instead of being like a 55-foot length, it'll be like a 45 or 50-foot length.
Okay.
So they're all 35 by 35 and 35 by 55. And those are the two models we're looking at. But there'll be a third model that'll be 35 by like 45 or 50.
And where are you going to
Probably
put that
45.
one?
That goes on that one off a Convent at the southeast.
I've
The
got a
one that you
question
current. Okay.
So it'll go just to the right of that southeast home. Instead of being just further to your right there, Jody, with your cursor. Yeah, on that one. So to the right side of that, there'll be a little bit smaller guest, more like a studio than a full guest house on the right side of that one.
So are we being shown the guest house as well as the main house on this set of plans?
You are on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Jody, could you go to the 8th sheet? I'm sorry, I'm not sure which label it is.
That
So
one?
yeah, so what we're talking about, the guest house is just this bottom sort of third of the main floor plan, is that right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
David, are these for sale or for rent?
Just depends how much money I have when I finish them.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to keep a few and sell one or two, but I don't know if I'll have the funds to get quite that far, or it'll depend a lot on lending, what the lending options are.
Are you planning on doing one at a time or doing all 5 at once?
I'm not sure. That'll also depend on lending.
Okay.
If I can't get good lending, I'll just be doing them one at a time.
Okay.
Okay. I've got a question about the windows that are up in the, what looks like the eaves. Are those workable windows? Or just in the sense of you can open and close them?
They should be able to be open and closed.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's where your bedrooms are. There's some bedrooms up there, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so for egress, they'd have to be able to be open
Okay,
and closed.
all right.
But the ones up front on like the family room, I mean, oh yeah, there's bedrooms. Okay.
Your air conditioning units and heating and cooling, where is that going to be at? How is that?
Air handler will go in the, hey Jody, can you show us that cross-sectional elevation if you don't mind?
A2.
Right there, yeah. So the air handler will go in that little space, like if you look in the right side, right at the eave,
Okay,
go over to yeah, right there. So you'll have an air handler in there, and you'll have a condenser on the ground
okay,
beside the house. And if we need to visually conceal the condenser in some way, that wouldn't be a problem either way. Certainly not on the roof in any case.
thank you.
Yeah, I think they look too ugly to have up on the roof. So.
Right. Does anybody have any more questions? No, David, do you have any questions?
No. Well, yeah, let's go back to landscaping. If I gravel everything like in the yards and driveways, is that fine? Is there a specific no, you can never do or anything like that?
It's a good question. As opposed to like doing asphalt for the driveways?
Yeah, instead of asphalt.
It'd be
Yeah.
cooler.
Yeah, I mean, I would, if the option is asphalt or DG, I would prefer to see DG.
Yeah, DG, it's cooler.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not gonna reflect the heat.
yeah, so I
The
wouldn't,
water will dissipate.
and then with landscaping, I would just, look around the neighborhood and see what kind of plants there are. We don't want to see palm trees.
Honestly, I probably will just have mesquites and
Yeah.
oleanders if oleanders are fine. I know they're pretty much everywhere, but they could be excluded for some reason. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to do anything crazy with the landscaping. Basically, just gravel, mesquite trees, and oleanders. If we even put in oleanders, I don't
Yeah,
even
I
know for
think we-
sure if we'll have
I
placing
think
for
we can
that.
do without oleanders.
Yeah.
Without them,
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
they're overused.
Yeah, they are kind of overused. They just grow so good, and they're such good visual barriers. Other than that, I don't really care for them either. But the mesquites, I think, are awesome. So
Yeah.
we'll do a bunch of those.
yeah. Are you having to do a landscape plan for the minor subdivision?
No, I don't think so. There's the minor subdivision is a little less stringent than like a full development. I believe there's no landscaping plan whatsoever on that.
So I think once you come back, if you don't have that landscaping plan, if you can just detail on the site plan what you plan on doing for trees, and we can just see where that's gonna play out.
Okay.
Just as a suggestion, Desert Survivors has some great plants that are compatible with xeriscapes. I
Oh,
don't know
really?
if- Yeah,
Okay. Survivors. All right.
22nd Street, just they're west of the freeway before you get to the cutoff to go on to I'm trying to think, the A Mountain thing. You'll see it. It's on the right hand side, north side of 22nd Street.
Yeah, I think it's 22nd and Kroger Lane.
Yeah, Kroger. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, got it. Cool.
It's actually Santa Cruz Lane, not Kroger. Kroger's the next one.
Santa Cruz.
That's just
Okay,
before the Santa
so-
Cruz River.
Main things that I'm taking away on here is we're gonna do a EF block. We are gonna have a material list together for you guys. Of course, our elevations for each lot will be labeled north, south, east, west. We'll have our development zone details on that, and the landscaping plan, of course.
And try and work on those 2 garages.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 garages. So what if we, I mean, one thing I know I can do is eliminate the garage altogether on the northeast one. That one has plenty of room for parking. The garage could be eliminated. It probably could even be moved over
To the east elevation.
inverted. Yeah, that one could even be moved over, actually.
Yeah.
That one could be flipped upon its north-south axis. But the northwest one, I don't think there's any good solution to make that garage not be there. Because I just have gone through the design on that lot and that garage placement so carefully, so much.
So the only other thing that I can think of, and feel free guys to chime in, is to not make it look like a garage door.
Well, that
So
too.
Yeah, so typically.
Can you go to those elevations, Jody? So that door you have there. I mean, is that just a panelized garage door with some lights on top?
Those are windows, and that garage door that he put there is just arbitrary. I'm not sure what the other garage doors look like. That's not one of the things. The garage door style isn't one of the things I've actually reviewed myself at all yet. I did plan on just making it match up with the neighborhood garage doors, but I hadn't really bothered with figuring out, what they looked like yet, just because we're not ordering garage doors yet.
Right.
But I guess it'll need to be on the plan, obviously.
Right. So if you could
well,
make that
I'm
one maybe
open
look
to
more
making
like
it look.
Gates, David, then
Yeah.
we might be
Okay.
more apt to be open to that.
Okay, yeah, that is not a problem at all, actually. If that's the solution that we need, that would be totally doable. I could do a single hard panel that would look like double gates fairly easily.
Would that
like
be a
wood.
roll up?
No, it wouldn't be a roll up. So like the older style, what I have in mind just offhand here is the older style garage doors are just one big solid panel.
Oh yeah.
Instead of being like multiple, 1.5 foot tall panels.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, multiple 1.5 foot tall panels, and just make where the creases are trim out so that it still looks like gates. But I would try to find one that I could just do like an entire solid panel.
Can you even do tilt ups anymore?
I don't know. I sure don't do them normally.
I thought that was like kind of a safety issue where they were, I don't know. I guess I just have known tilt ups that have broken and fallen and trapped people in their garages.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. So maybe if that's the case, we'll just stylistically, I just thought it might be easiest to make it look like a gate with those, but I'm sure we can make it look like some double gates that like open in the middle, hinged on the right and left, even with with a panel, normal multiple panel door.
Yeah, David, on Main Street and 18th Street, there's some houses there that you might want to look at. I mean, I don't suggest copying any of those because they're not great, but are you going there, Jody?
I'll try.
Heck yeah.
Oh. Maybe not. I'm going there.
I bet you can get it.
Let's Main and 18th.
Yeah.
No crap. I don't think I'm as quick as Grace. I think I've seen Grace do this and she's like way faster. Okay, so where's Maine? That's my problem.
Slow down. It's that
You're
one
right
right
there. Yeah.
You're right there, right there.
Continuation of
Right
10.
there.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
even though it says
south,
10th down here?
there. Yep, right there. Now go right.
Right here? And go right?
Yeah, right there. Right where the cursor's at.
Okay. Oh, are you talking about these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not what, but
They're
those are
not
double.
wonderful.
They're double gates.
Oh, and that's, these are hinges, right?
Yeah, they open out. And then also the house to the east, or yeah, there's like two more of those. That one down there, does that have garage doors out on the street? It does not. No.
Actually, that's kind of nice, but I think it's the color.
Yeah, the wood one looks nicer.
Yeah, it does.
So you could look at something like that. I mean, you have challenges of weatherproofing it, but
Yeah.
it is a
Yeah.
garage.
Okay. Yeah, as long as we can keep it where it's at, I'm pretty much open to whatever to make it look like anything that I think if we make it look like, some old double gates, I mean, I could probably make it look a lot more neat than that, honestly. A little more like actual gates and a little less just like still kind of just looks like a garage door to me right there, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll either just make it double gates or we'll make it look convincing like it is.
Yeah, make sure you bring that when you do the formal review with what your intent is there.
Okay.
All right, anything else? Nope. David, do you have any further questions or?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much, yeah, that should pretty much be it. We're just do normal door heights. 3068 would be more, I know they put some 7-footers, I think, on a couple of them, but I think the 3068s more match the neighborhood than anything, right?
Yeah.
As far as sizing. Okay, that sounds good. No, I think I'm good. I think we're gonna try and rock and roll on this as quick as we can then, and get back to you guys with the formal review in a few months.
Okay. Well, David, good luck and thanks.
Thank
for
you.
Thank you guys.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, so we discussed agenda item number 5, the letter, which will reconstitute that on the 3rd of October. 6 staff updates, Jody.
So, we will be moving, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but the city is implementing a new permitting system, EnerGov. And so we will be moving to that at the very end of October on Halloween, actually, is our go live date. If I remember correctly, and don't quote me on these dates, but the week prior, we will not be taking any permits, only emergency permits, as we transition to the new permitting system. There's that. And then I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but all of our meetings that we've been recording, we're now uploading to our website, the YouTube website, so you can always watch the recordings if you wanted to go back to them. I think those are the only updates that I have.
So are you video recording these or just voice recording?
No, it's actually video. So, when you drink a beer, everybody sees you drink a beer. I've only think that happened once or so in one of my meetings, and I'm not entirely sure that was a beer, but it kind of looked like a beer.
Okay, that's good to know. And anybody want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting for today?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
We have a second.
Well, I'll second that.
All seconds it. I'm in favor. Grace,
Yes,
Mary Lou,
Aye.
Paul H.
Aye.
Great. So we'll see you guys on October 3rd at 4 p.m.
Okay.
And we're going to be working on the design guidelines too that day.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the primary reason for the
All right.
meeting.
Well, I think we should be, yeah, but I think maybe we should work on the letter first and then go to the design guideline
Yeah.
after the letter,
Okay,
just so we can get that out of the way.
okay. Cool.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Have a good night, evening.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.